Hello. Welcome to Tea with the Druid, number 267. Brought to you, this is Philip Cargon. This is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, this time from the beautiful, wonderful city of Edinburgh, one of the loveliest cities in the world, I think. And we're lucky enough to be here for a couple of weeks, and it's a real pleasure to be here. We had a lovely time the other day. We walked into the local health food store, and there was a fellow participant in the Tea with the Druid circle who greeted us, and it's a shout out to Dara. It was great to meet you, and it's always such a pleasure to meet people who are in this work and aligned with what we're all doing together. You know, there's lots and lots of us around the world now, and it's lovely to meet people who are thinking along the same lines. It's great. So, and hello to everybody, people coming into the circle from the Isle of Skye and rainy Scotland. Yes, it has been rainy today. Oxfordshire, Barkham in Sussex, place I know well. Pender Island, Ottawa, Cork in Ireland, New Delhi in India, hooray. Ontario, South Carolina. Somebody else near Edinburgh, that's great. South Wales, rainy too. And Portugal, Ardnamurchan up in Scotland, Chile, fantastic. The Dells of Wisconsin, Switzerland, Oregon, great, lovely. Every time I say one of these place names, a place is conjured up in our minds, isn't it? Frome in Somerset, Lincolnshire, all these different landscapes that we sense with everybody, people there. Yeah, great to see you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed last week's tea that was recorded in Ibiza, where I met an extraordinary lady, Susie Pearl, who just had an incredible story to tell, and so we filmed it. And then the week before, there was a dive into bibliomancy, and it was a great session. I really enjoyed it. It was wonderful. And something strange happened afterwards. Overnight, the number of views shot up by over 1,000. So they went from 500 to 2,000 just overnight, suddenly, and that's very unusual. It doesn't normally do that. And I wondered, what's that about? Is that just coincidence? Is it some kind of error? Is it the word bibliomancy that is powerful for people? Has it tapped into some kind of whole world of the sort of Christian use of using Bibles for prediction that I'm completely, wasn't aware existed out there on the internet and so on. Anyway, so that intrigued me. But in thinking more, it was such a good session we had. If you haven't seen it, go back to it's actually number 265, The Wonder That Is Bibliomancy, and see how you find it. It was great fun, and I thought we should do it again because it's rather wonderful when there's so many of us meeting together, all kind of tuning in and meditating, that it gives us the possibility to do experiments and have play with consciousness within the world of consciousness. And so let's do it again. 2 weeks ago, we used, I found 110 quotes from Hafiz, and we used a number between 1 and 10. We'll use a different way of doing bibliomancy tonight. But let us now just tune in for a moment. And because I think the thing about bibliomancy is it's really linked with synchronicity, that when it works, when you open a book at random or you choose a quote at random, and it absolutely speaks to your soul or what you need to hear, you get this lovely feeling that your life is in alignment. Things line up. And that's what synchronicity does. So there's a real connection, I think, between synchronicity and bibliomancy. And part of the goal of spiritual work, I think, is to feel increasingly in alignment. Now, you might say, well, what does that mean? And I think, we deliberately don't want to be too prescriptive about that. Here are some things it could mean: in alignment with your soul, with your destiny, with your soul's purpose, with the needs of the planet, in alignment with the needs of your body and your heart and your mind right now, in alignment with those with whom you're working, in alignment with your family, and so on. So there's a broad range of definitions we could apply. But let's, without thinking too much, because these exercises work best when we don't overthink. We allow our intuition to speak. Just allow yourself, if you want to, only do this if you want to. If you're feeling kind of delicate and you don't want to do it, then that's fine. But if you want to, just tune in for a moment, just kind of connect to yourself. Big breath in, hold for a moment. Big breath out, settling in. And then just ask yourself, how much in alignment am I feeling today? On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is out of alignment completely and 10 is completely in alignment. And just see what number comes to you. How in alignment am I feeling today? And then just tap it in when you feel like it. And again, so we've got a 1, a 9, a 3, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 7, a 4, 4, 4, 4, 7, 2, 6.75. Thank you, Daniel. 8, 7, 8, 1, 8, 5, 3, 3, 7, 7, 1, 8, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 8, 9, 7, 9, 7, the same ones, 10. What are we doing? He says, don't worry, all will become clear. 6, 9, 8, 7, 5. Lovely. 5. Well, 7. Great. Keep typing them in. So, but you can see we've got a wide range. So some of us are feeling, quite out of alignment, ones and 2s and 3s, and some of us are feeling quite in alignment. 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, 9 says dads. 8, 7. And there we go. Lovely. Okay. So there's something about, somehow we know, however we interpret it, whatever we mean by the phrase in alignment, it seems to be, I don't know, but I find it's quite a good phrase. I sort of get it in some way. And I suppose I interpret it at a sort of somatic spiritual level. How alignment am I feeling in my body, sort of kind of literally in a somatic sense, with sophrology, which I do a lot of, which is like a kind of embodied mindfulness routine that I've trained in. So we're used to sort of working with the body and everything. That there's a sense of alignment within the body, and then that's echoed deeper in sort of heart and soul, because when I'm feeling out of whack in my heart or soul, I'll probably feel out of whack in my body. So it's a kind of gestalt, a gestalt sort of impression, an overall impression one gets. Okay, so here's the suggestion that somehow synchronicities and things that encourage synchronicities, like bibliomancy, can help us to get in alignment. It's as if, we're all boats tracking across, wide seas, and there are storms and we bump into other boats and various things happen. And sometimes we just get out of alignment. We're kind of headed this way and we just get pushed over that way by the currents or by some flotsam or whatever. And when you do bibliomancy and you get the right phrase, it's as if it just helps you to get back on track again. And I really believe that the universe is conspiring to do us good, and that there are wonderful spiritual beings and forces, friends that we can't necessarily see, but who are there in the other world, who are helping us to stay in alignment, helping us to kind of navigate through life. Sometimes, by the way, just so we're not making a good and bad, right and wrong situation here, that being out of alignment is really important. It's important to have the experience of getting lost. It's important to have that sense of sort of going off track and then realizing you've gone off track and then realigning yourself and so on. So it's not about it being bad or unhelpful, because it's all part of the wider journey of life, I think. And when bibliomancy works, it helps us in that alignment. And let's do a bibliomantic experiment now, which is this time I thought I'd use there's a little book that I wrote. Well, I didn't really write. That's the thing, that I've received to some questions that I asked, called The Winged Psyche. And you can get it in the druidry.org bookshop. Just a little 20-page booklet. There's a companion volume, The Seven Valleys, that I produced with Roma Johnson. They're all really sort of beautifully designed and produced and everything, you know, with lovely, where we go, lovely graphics and everything. But we're going to, for our purposes, we're going to use The Winged Psyche. And I'd like you just to tune in. And if you just ask for some help in your alignment and just see what number comes to you from 1 to 19, just the first number that pops into your mind, between 1 and 19, and then just tap it in. Between 1 and 19. So this is lovely, 12, 2, 15, 17, 19, 18, 5, 8, okay? And I'm going to, my part in this is to also pick something at random. 11, Miriam Martin has given the number 11. And I'm going to turn to page 11 and reading just what my eyes fall on. And so you uncover room after room in the mansion that is your being. You lived in the kitchen, made love in the bedroom, but now you find there is a library filled with books of ancient wisdom, a conservatory filled with exotic plants, long corridors that lead to rooms where different characters live, parts of yourself you never dared express. There is a child crying on its own in the corner of a bedroom. You must comfort them and let them know you will always love them. There is an old man or woman bedridden in another room. They need to talk to you. There is a homeless beggar who waits beside the kitchen door and you must let him in. The cellar door is locked, but at some stage in your journey you must find the key and open the door and descend into its dark, neglected depths. There is a staircase too that is winding. It leads to a tower whose balcony opens out to the stars. Your dreams start to change. Sometimes they are puzzling, nonsensical. Other times so obvious in their meaning, they make you laugh in recognition. You thought that all this awakening to the richness of who you are would lead to happiness. But it's not that simple. You get lost in different rooms. You wonder, or others wonder, whether you have become too self-absorbed. Every so often you come across a way of understanding who you are that seems to resonate with your experience, to make absolute sense to you. You read of ancient teachings that say you're a spark of divinity that clothes itself in a succession of bodies or sheaths that enable it to function on different levels of reality. This spark becomes the soul, which in turn is enrobed with a mind, then an emotional body, then an energy or etheric body, which is attached to the vehicle of a physical body. 13. As I sat writing about her in a monastery in the forest of Brocéliande, I had become aware of an angelic being whom I came to call Cosmiel, who inspired me to recount the journey of the soul after death, based upon ideas found in early Jewish macabre mysticism and in the work of Athanasius Kircher, which I then included in the book that resulted from studying her life, The Prophecies. Her is a prophetess called the Druidess of Brittany, the Druidess of Brocéliande. The journey included the same idea of a succession of veils or bodies surrounding the pure radiance of the soul, suggesting that the essence of each body is given to us by the planets, while our true nature lies beyond the fixed stars, beyond even the seventh heaven. So, I'm sorry, that was rather a long quote, wasn't it? It wasn't very pithy. I'll do one more, just 7, which is just the number I see there at the bottom. Let's see if there's something more pithy. Boop. Imagine this, a breath that travels out from a still point that is nowhere and yet is everywhere and everything in potential. And as that breath flows out from this point, all the worlds are created. Galaxies of unimaginable size, worlds of intense beauty, swirling regions of gases, barren planets, and every conceivable creature, divine and corporeal. Millions of years pass in the elaboration, destruction, creation, and recreation of these worlds, until the great breath indraws, flowing back to its source. Every reality, every world being drawn back into the body of the divine source, for whom this breathing in and out has taken but a moment. So let's I hope that was helpful. They were longer than I sort of remembered. I deliberately didn't look at the book before doing this. The idea just came to me. But these were quotations from The Winged Psyche, and it's really a book that happened when I found myself talking to an angel, a divine being, a beautiful being, came, and I asked them questions and talked, and we dialogued, and I wrote. And immediately after the conversation, I went into a little hut in the garden and started writing down the conversation. And when I lifted my eyes from the computer, I found I was staring at this picture, which is the picture of an angel climbing in through a bedroom window, which with my daughter Sophie, we had been at Keats's, the place where Keats died in Rome a number of years before, and Sophie had bought this postcard and had put it up in the little hut, and I didn't even know that, and so that was a lovely confirmation of the experience I'd had, and that picture is called A Bright Torch and a Casement Ope at Night by Robert Anningbaum, 1897. So, okay. So let's go into the grove now and continuing this work of alignment. The idea of bibliomancy, as I said, is perhaps to help us align ourselves. And let's continue this work by going into a brief meditation now, just for a few minutes, of becoming aware of being in the sacred grove, in the clearing in the forest. And we can sense the earth beneath us, all the richness and the wonder of the earth, its aliveness, all the creatures in the earth, the minerals and crystals, the stones, the moisture, the mycelium, all the connections, the mushrooms that are growing up, breaking out into the open. And we see now the ground, grass, sand, rock, whatever it is, we notice it. And we feel how the trees are rooted in this earth. And we feel the strength and the protection of the trees around us. Though they are mighty and powerful, they hurt no creature. And we feel the presence of our brothers and sisters, the trees. And we open to their canopy, this lovely green canopy with the sunlight shining through. And breathing in the energy of the sun, the energy of the sky. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of our beings. And sensing now the center of our beings, we become aware of those different aspects of ourselves that were mentioned in that quotation. In some traditions, they're talked about as sheaths that cover the soul, or envelopes, or I can't remember what other things they're called, but they're different bodies. Yes, that's right, bodies, etheric, astral, and so on. But we can sense them just as light and energy now, with our physical body grounding us, and then our energy bodies. And then you might sense subtler bodies of subtle energy that coexist with the physical body. All these different levels of energy expressing who you are. And let's ask that our energy bodies be aligned with our physical bodies and with the radiance of our souls. And we become aware of the way, being in the grove, we are helped to align ourselves. We gently allow our arms in our imaginations to drift towards the soil and just to rest the palms of our hands on the earth beside us. And we can feel how the earth herself helps to align us, to bring us a sense of balance and harmony. May all aspects of myself, all levels of energy, be aligned with the earth, the energy of the earth, grounded, anchored, stable, and energized by the earth. And you notice your breathing, and you breathe in deeply and slowly, just feeling your energy fields being gently adjusted and aligned, perhaps just settling. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. This work is done for us by the earth. All we need to do is cooperate and just open to the beneficent healing power of the earth. And the trees too, we start to notice as we breathe in and out the delicious scent of the trees, the essential oils that they exude, that science tells us is so good for us. We're breathing in the aroma of the trees and of the forest. And as we gently breathe in and breathe out, the energy of the trees helps us to feel aligned, to feel clear, to feel strong. And then we feel a light breeze on our cheeks, and we realize the very air herself is refreshing us too. And as we breathe in, we realize that with every breath we take, nature is helping to align us, to energize us, to heal us. And then coming back to a sense of being settled in ourselves, we open to being seated in a circle with others. And if we feel in alignment with the energy in this circle, we might feel moved to move our hands out to either side and to take a hand to either side of us to feel the strength of this circle. May more and more of humanity feel in alignment with the healing power of the earth, of the trees, of the sky. May all of our lives be blessed. May all life be blessed. And may the land and all of nature be blessed too. You squeeze the hand to either side of you. Come back to an awareness of yourself. And then allow your awareness of being seated in the sacred grove, in the clearing, to gently fade as you become more and more aware of being seated in front of your screen, fully present here and now. And when you feel ready, you open your eyes. Udanola King, may our whole life be blessed. Yes, indeed. That's lovely, Nemi. The boat of my physical body may be becalmed, but the waves gently rock me. I see the cosmos above me and each star reflected in the sparkling waters around me. Thank you. My cat came to sit beside me, says Mia. I feel better aligned now, thank you. Lovely, and of course it's Lunasa coming up. This is the eve of Lunasa. And Lunasa is the time, it's in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, it is, where are we? It's Imbolc, just that lovely beginning, the beginnings of spring, just starting, the light beginning again. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's this beginning of the harvest season. What we've sown is starting to be reaped. It's a time of separating the wheat from the chaff. It's a whole period of gratitude, which the thing about these festivals is it's very easy to think of them as one discrete moment. But of course, it's an organic flowing of time with these particular festivals as markers and moments to become aware of them. But you have the beginning of the harvest time at Lunasa, starting tomorrow officially, and then moving around for about 6 weeks to the autumn equinox on the 21st of September. So 6 weeks of gratitude, of really soaking in the gifts that life has brought us, giving thanks, and also separating the wheat from the chaff and letting go of what no longer serves us. So thank you so much. It was so lovely meditating with you and lovely to read your comments and seeing Susie Pearl, you're here. That's lovely. It was so nice meeting you. And lots of people. Yes, I can see lots of names. So have a wonderful week. And yes, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. As always with these meditations, I just want to meditate for ages, hours and hours. But the whole point of these is they're brief. And so much love, many blessings, and see you in a week's time. Okay, bye.